But we begin with President Trump's high-stakes negotiations with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe joins us now. So, Ed, the president says he'll lower overall tariffs on Chinese imports from 57% to 47%. Xi promised to curtail shipments of fentanyl ingredients to the U.S., but 47%, it's still the highest tariff rate the U.S. imposes.
It is, but it's not the 100% that the president was threatening to impose come mid-November. And one could argue that if we don't start getting paperwork and finer details of these agreements the president says he struck with the Chinese, that could still happen. The president went over there to Asia. This was the capstone meeting that he wanted, and wanted to be able to come away from it saying that he had secured assurances that the Chinese would start buying soybeans again, that they'd ease up on the restricted exports of rare earth minerals to build things like satellites and electric vehicles and batteries. And he, in essence, got that, it appears. Even some potential assurances that the Chinese might start buying American oil and gas to wane them off of Russian energy supplies. So, you know, he comes home arguing that he got what he wanted, and we'll just have to wait and see in the coming days, weeks, and months whether that agreement totally worked out.
Let's talk more about these restrictions on rare earth exports lifted. This is for a year, right? Is the expectation that maybe it'll keep getting extended?
Yeah, much of this appears to be over the course of a year or so. And so what it ensures is constant contact, one would hope, between the United States and China on economic and national security matters, and keeps the lines of communication open. Much of the world wants to know that these two countries with the largest militaries and economies are, in fact, talking to each other on a fairly regular basis. The president says he's going to China in April. And to have all sorts of different agreements in constant negotiation, whether it's this issue or the future of TikTok or whatever else may develop in the coming years, the hope is that both sides continue talking to each other the way they are apparently going to in this case. But again, and you emphasize this, we have to continue to emphasize it. Just because the president, his Treasury Secretary, and trade representative said things went well and we're going to work out the details in the coming weeks, until we see those details, until we see it in paper, it's hard to know for sure what the Chinese have committed to, even though they said, at least through state media, that they were encouraged by the cooperation struck in the meeting.
Okay, Ed O'Keefe, thank you.